The Nigerian army today arraigned 59 soldiers before a general court-martial in Abuja instead of the 60 officers earlier charged with mutiny. Prosecuting counsel Captain Joseph Nwosu told the court that charges against one Lance Corporal Anthony Simeon has been dropped on the ground of ill health. The court adjourned its session to Thursday, the 16th of October, after cross-examining the first prosecuting witness. Meanwhile, Defense Counsel Mr. Femi Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is hopeful that justice will be served at the end of the day.
The law requires the prosecution to serve us with proof of evidence, information. And in fairness to them, they've given us the statement of the witnesses who are coming to give evidence so as to guide us in preparing the defense. What I was noting was not a serious objection, was that it was giving evidence that was not contained in the statement. The law allows it, but the law also imposes a duty on the court to allow us time to prepare if we are caught unawares, to get ready. You know, the rule 49
yes, sir,
allows us to ask for time, rules of procedure. I don't think it would be fair, I mean, to impugn, any negative thing, the members of the panel. So far, I mean, the court, the way the trial is being conducted is of highest standard, I'm comfortable. And if I have any complaint at any time, I will not hide my feelings. But so far, so good.
Well, under the prevailing military act, soldiers who disobey or refuse any order from a superior has committed an offense that amounts to insubordination and is punishable. These were the thoughts of a retired military officer, Mr. Henry Omosigo, while reacting to another tribunal to try 59 soldiers. Mr. Omosigo says though some section of the military acts require amendments, the current provision are clear on matter of mutiny, which leaves offenders with little choices or none.
The military as a soldier, officer, or other ranks, if you are more than one or two that gang up against a superior officer, it becomes a mutiny. And hereby, you are bound to face either a tribunal or general court-martial. But in the case of this one, we are talking about terrorism that Nigeria as a nation has faced for quite some time now. Then, if the soldiers that were tried before in that category, that some of them were sentenced to death, some of them were acquitted as a result of the case or count charges which they were charged of, and again another set come up again, I was expecting that this group ought to have learned from the first set.
This one, it says insubordination. What does that mean?
Yeah. If you are rude to your superior officer, it becomes insubordination. If you talk to your superior rudely, without courtesy, when you talk to your senior, it becomes insubordinate behavior in the military. And if you are sent on an errand or to any operation, and what you are asked to do there is not what you go there to do, it becomes insubordination. At the time you are passing out, either as a cadet officer or as a recruit, there is what you call oath of allegiance. An oath of allegiance is taken in group during your passing out parade. And you are sworn to that oath with the defense flag and the Nigerian flag that you will defend the integrity of the nation. And you are ready to obey by the rules, orders given you by your superior. And so, by taking such an oath, you ought to have known what you come into face in the military. And in fact, that is the first challenge as a military personnel.
Retired Captain Omosigo giving an insight on the trial of some military officers. Now, to other stories, the Presidential Committee on Small Arms and Light Weapons has proposed the repeal of the Firearms Act of 2004 to make provisions for more stringent laws that will control the movement and use of arms and weapons in the country. Addressing a group of experts at an event on the amendment of the Act, Chairman of the committee, Ambassador Emmanuel Imohe, says that although there have been 2 amendments to the law since its enactment in 1959, The law remains inadequate for dealing with modern trends in weapon trafficking and allied offenses. The committee is proposing that in addition to other measures drawn up to resolve the menace, which includes improved border security and aggressive public awareness, the laws and the punishment for such offenses need to be treated as an urgent matter of national importance by the National Assembly. In the meantime, a Transborder military operations conference between Nigeria and Cameroon has begun in Abuja, Nigeria's capital territory. The meeting follows that of the foreign ministers of Lake Chad Basin, which had also held in Abuja to fashion out a legal framework for a multinational task force to tackle insurgency in the countries. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, Air Marshal Alex Bade, challenged the participants to come up with strategies to put an end to the challenge of insecurity in the area.
This conference was conceived and organized as part of the ongoing efforts at engaging relevant stakeholders in our collective determination to address the challenges of terrorism and other acts of criminality which our two countries in particular and the Lake Chad Basin countries in general are currently confronted with. The meeting of the Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Defense held in Abuja 2 days ago, precisely on the 13th of October 2014. At the meeting, the ministers agreed that member states could conduct operations around our common borders even as the draft resolution for the legal framework is being worked out.
Campaigners calling for the rescue of the Chibok girls defied the evening showers in the nation's capital, Abuja, to press home their demand for the release of the school children. This time, the campaigners took their plea to the residence of the United Kingdom ambassador and the Chadian embassy. According to them, silence on issues that pertain to the release of the Chibok girls amounts to cowardice.
It's another day of protest march for campaigners calling for the rescue of the abducted schoolgirls. Just back from their boycott protest to the presidential villa, the group also took to the streets sharing flyers and adorning trees with red ribbons in solidarity with the Chibok girls. Not even the rains could deter them.
The lives of the Chibok girls have been altered forever. But we want them back so that we can rehabilitate them. They are our children and we would never deny them. What are we demanding? Bring back our girls now and alive.
From the British High Commission, they continued with the protest to the Chadian embassy. Key officials of the group gave highlights of the meetings with the ambassadors.
We had raised concerns about the status of the rescue operation, providing information, and also to what extent has their support yielded or not yielded results. They briefed us on the fact that their rescue operation is challenged in view of the fact that there's limitations to what sort of partnership they can do with the Nigerian military. They mentioned that their support is in two-component intelligence provision, which is a form of surveillance, on-the-air surveillance, without any foot soldiers within the working with the Nigerian military. The other component of the support is to do with development projects, which they feel has been substantive. They've had 200 million pounds, 60% of 200 million pounds to Nigeria, and 60% of that goes to the northeast, and that they feel is one component of their support program.
The die is cast as these campaigners promise more engagement with some other embassies and groups. All of this, they say, is aimed at facilitating the return of the abducted schoolgirls.
Meanwhile, in the United States, Grammy winner Alicia Keys has pledged $1 million to the search for the 219 girls abducted from Government Girls Secondary School Chibok. She made the pledge during a protest she led at the front of the Nigerian embassy in New York. Keys, alongside 30 other women, raised awareness on the girls' continuous abduction, holding placards that read, "We're here to bring back our girls." The singer-songwriter had also shared a link to an online petition urging her 2,000 followers to sign a document to bring the girls back.
Bring back our girls! Bring back our girls! Bring back our girls! Bring back our
Well, today is my son's birthday, and it is also making me stand in solidarity with all the mothers of the Chibok girls who have been abducted for 6 months and are still missing. And it is just outrageous that that's going on.
Bring back our girls! Bring back our girls! Bring back our girls! Bring back our girls! Bring back our girls!
These girls, they represent all the girls that are kept from education. They represent all the girls that are viewed as property. They represent all the girls that rape and violence is used as a weapon of war against, and it is just outrageous. So that's what we're doing here today. As part of We Are Here, which is the movement I just started, it's really about direct action. I don't know if people have forgotten. I think they just have to be reminded. You know what I mean? I mean, naturally, it was in the news for a while when it first happened. It's been 6 months, fair enough. Some people have even told me they've heard, things about there's been progress, but there hasn't been progress because the girls aren't back. So I think that we get mixed information. We don't know. So we have to just keep being made aware of what's happening.
Back our girl! Bring back our girl! Bring back our girl! Bring back our girl!
When the News at 10 returns for the first time in 6 consecutive months, Nigeria's headline inflation rate drops by 20 basis points. That's on Business News. Join us again.